today we're going to continue on procedural terrain generation. So yesterday we made some great progress actually. So this is just well, very simple function that has been mapped onto, I guess, an 8 map, and it is currently being rendered on the screen. So that's what we did yesterday, with a little bit of shadows. Well, the shadows are not very soft. Oh, it's becoming darker with the actual view, so there is something wrong with that. Yep, we did not notice that yesterday. So today we're going to do a little bit more of shaders, because I'd like to have some more interesting terrains than that, because that's not very interesting for now. So we'll have to... Oh, it's also changing with... Alright, that's bad enough. So yeah, we'll do a little bit more on GPU side, on shader side. We'll have to implement, I guess, noise functions, things like that. And everything there is about that. But for now, I was just doing a little bit of refactoring. I'll just try to refactor that quickly. So let's see. So I've currently refactored buffer. I've just basically added a type to it so that I can avoid having to care about the size of the type and have size off in the middle of it. Seems a little bit more secure. Well, that's not the right word, but a little bit more user-friendly, so that's one thing already. And I just wanted to also refactor the buffer mapping, because that's also dangerous. Is it? Well, I don't know, but... and I just read in the documentation that this one. Here, the return pointer values may not be passed as parameter values to GL commands. For example, they may not be used to specify array pointers or to specify or query pixel or texture image data. Such action produce undefined results, although implementation may not check for such behavior for performance reasons. So we do have undefined behavior, that's bad. Yeah, that's bad. So, don't really know what to do about that. Where is it? Terrain hates. So this one here is undefined behavior. I'll probably try to fix that at a later time, because for now at least it works. Yep, indeed, passing the mapping as a parameter. So you shouldn't do that. Right, so next, I'm just going to encapsulate everything, and I need tags. So in here, GLNM access, we're just going to take that function signature and put it into a class so that can do things with it. Just keeping a copy of a reference to the buffer. And the data I will indeed need. Get that. This is returned by yep, GL map name buffer. Put that in here. Oops, I did not copy it. Come with me, please. So in here it goes be an access. Now we do have the data. I also now use the OpenGL error callback, which will be a little bit better and less verbose, I guess. So just going to finish that refactor quickly, and then we'll get on the reins. So I just need to unmap the buffer here, and I will just make an index operator so that we can access what's inside it. Like that. There's no except, not really. I've not checked whether the access mode allow for writing and reading, which are two different things, but I guess that will do. And that should be good enough on that part. Now I will just try to change the existing code, and hopefully it will work on first try. And it probably won't, but anyway. Just have to change that. Not forget the namespace. I no longer need to unmap it manually because it's done in the destructor now. And the same thing for the terrain elements. Remove the unmapping. Also not forget to change this. Everything, well, terrain code was write only, terrain elements is write only, and terrain 8 is also write only, so that's good. I just have to change that. Oops. Terrain 8, so this is undefined by behavior, so that's bad. Let's see. Yep, some errors. Some more errors. One too many parentheses. Do I do that everywhere? Yes. This, no, not good. It's complaining about mapping. That's because somehow I need to access the internal pointer. Even so, it should probably be forbidden. Anyway. There will be some more work to do on that part, but yes, that's good enough for now. So now it's mapping.data here. Some more errors. Let's see. I need to cast void pointers. Use static cast. It is an ROS cast that exactly describe what conversion is made here. There's a misconception that using reinterpret cast will be a better match because it means completely ignore type safety and just cast from A to B. However, this doesn't actually describe the effect of a reinterpret cast. Rather, reinterpret cast has a number of meanings, for all of which holds that the mapping performed by reinterpret cast is implementation defined. But in the particular case of casting from void pointer to t pointer, the mapping is completely well defined by the standard, namely to assign a type to a typeless pointer without changing its address. The reason to prefer static cast. Right. So I'm just missing a static cast here. And cast it to type pointer. Right. Oh, I just have a link error, that's fine. Everything is working just as before. That's also great. So now that this is done, any more mapping I might have missed? Morphity. Yeah. No, that's everything. But at least now it's slightly cleaner, which is great. I've done 2 refactors for about 10 lines less, so that's not a great victory, but I'll still take it. Let me add. Right, so now I just need to fix the lighting because the light direction is not transformed by the model view transformation, which is bad. I just fix that quickly. So the shader, which is, where is it? Yeah, this terrain and renderer dot .bs. Yes, no, oh yes. No, I need the fragment shader. Sorry. So the light direction will just become a uniform so that we can pass it from the program directly. So x3 light direction. Now inside the program, we only need to do that once. I do not have what why not have one renderer vertex chain? Yes. I'm multiplying it by MVP, that's right. The problem with that is that I'm also multiplying it with the projection, so that bad uniform. Why? Because light calculation are done in world coordinates. Need to do that apart, which means that I just need a new output for the position. So x3 vertex position, and we'll set that equal to well, the MV matrix that multiplies wait, I'll just take that apart because this is I guess the position before transformation, and that's the position after transformation. I just need the first three components. Yeah, I have to give it everything because OpenGL will do a perspective division. Remember how it's called. Well, it will normalize the coordinates. It needs a force component, which the vertex position doesn't. And so in the geometry shader, I have another input. Can I give it directly? Vertex position, something like that. I don't need those anymore. Because that's how I compute the normal for each face. Because I do not have normals for each vertex as of now. I may add those by today. Yes. And I do have shader compilation errors. Vertex shader. Line, which line? Line 2. Oh, that's a rogue character. And now, vertex, line 12. Yes, it's complaining about that. Yeah, so that's a vec4, not a vec3. Because in homogeneous coordinates, we need 4 components in 3 dimensions. What do we get? More errors. Vertex shader, line 14. It complaining about vertex position pass error. Syntax error. Vertex position pass error. What's the problem? Oh, I'm missing a semicolon here. That happens. Now, line 16. Will I really have an error for each line? Yeah, still missing the semicolon. Now the geometry shader is complaining, no such field in interface block vertex position. That's because I think I have to redeclare the inputs to the shader, if I'm not wrong. Where is the wiki? Or do I really need the wiki? Oh, GL ins, that's what I need, I think. I just have to add that here. I'll call it vertex. And this is called GL in because this is a special function. And I just need to add vec3 vertex position if I'm not wrong, which I will probably be. Now everything is exploding. That's fine. Probably some kind of undefined behavior. I'm not setting all uniforms, which is also not good. So this is MV, MVP, and I can just set the MV transformation. Yeah. So take MV, MV. Let's see what I get. Still exploding. So, what did I do wrong? Might he be complaining about vertex shader? I am multiplying position by MVP, so this should be right. Comment that. Everything still explode. And I'll just go back to the previous version, I guess, and try to debug that step by step, because GLSL debugging can be particularly tedious. Ah, I get different bugs though. Something is telling me that I have weird values in GL in. So it's probably GL vertex, but it might not be something I have the right to rename, no? So geometry shader wiki 1 this week. GL per vertex. That why? Is somewhere else? No, it defines an interface block for output. No, that's not the one I was searching for. The same one? Can I redeclare that? Oops. Oh, so it seems that that was a problem. Alright. Great. Can now put back vertex positioning here. And re-enable that in here. Should be passing the... Oh, I close that window. Now it's a little bit broken. Perhaps not only a little bit, but... Why do I have those weird stripes? Huh. That's an interesting bug. I'll just set the light direction for now. So I'll do that. And try uniform and should be light direction, and we'll give it any kind of vector will do, possibly a vector pointing down. 0.f, no, 0, -1f, 0, and 0 because we need 4 coordinates, because this is homogeneous coordinates as usual. We multiply that by the MV matrix. I have one, no, I have one too many parentheses, and just take the first 3 components like that. Complaining about vec 4, yes, wrong initializer. Now, at the very least, the color is not changing when I'm rotating around and looking down or up. That's already a thing, but I still have those stripes. But I have no idea where they come from. That's kind of weird. Can try to put that into render doc to see if I can debug anything. Brain, just that. I take a frame, see, it'd be a little bit too big. And what can I say? Buffer 53, 55, triangle list, mesh view. Not viewing anything though. The geometry shader, do I have anything? I don't know. The fragment shader, I'm not seeing anything either. FB. What is FB? I don't do have a depth test still. Oh, Cenobite of Sec. Thank you for the follow. Do not hesitate to ask if you have any question. It will be doing some kind of deduced debugging for now. And I have those weird triangles. Vertex normal should be good. Did I do something wrong with the normals? No, because it was working before. One I forgot to replace. Don't think so. Oh, that's actually weird. I can try to make a smaller terrain. Where is it? Where is my hard-coded variable? Before that, yeah. So 512 so that we can see a little bit clearer. Still buggy. Oh, defense, thank you also for the follow. Welcome to the stream, I guess, where I try my best to do things that actually works. That's actually kind of weird because there seemed to be a rectangle on the right corner where it's not happening. Don't know what those stripes are, and I did not have the problem previously, so I'm definitely doing something wrong. But what? Can try to set that back to gel position, I guess, because I did not have the problem before. It's complaining about something. Yeah, that really do remove the problem, but problem with that I'm doing light calculation with a perspective projection. We do not want that. So let's see. The problem is that this is not set up correctly. That's a possibility. I'm also applying the... No, that's a position, so I need a translation to be applied to that. Should be filling the MVP correctly, right? Will work. Will probably normalize that, but I don't have any failings, so it shouldn't be a problem. Why do I have those weird errors? I'm that. Perhaps I need to set vertex normal before each emit vertex. I'm not really seeing why that will be a problem with vertex position, but not GL position. Or did I set vertex position wrong? Oh, what does the internet say about that? GL vertex? Yes. Not seeing any inputs. Scale down, yes. Output is here. Right, not a geometry. Don't really have any other kind of inputs and outputs. Oh, see, they do here. Geometry shader in, vertex shader out. So that might be the problem. Yep, must have done black magic. Yes. Let's call it vertex. And vertex. Yeah, and position. Oh, it does. I think it should have the same name, if I'm not wrong. In is a keyword, so no in. Well, just v, that will do. Don't know how to call it. And so here I just need to change all of those. This is x3, by the way. Will this work? Oh, all broken. So this doesn't. And that's not a feature. I'm missing something on how to provide other because I think I'll just try with his exact same notation because I must be missing something. Back 3 and vertex position. But that's correct. Oh, same thing, so that was not the problem. Currently, geometry shader in. Those are outputs. Those are inputs. They are using it as usual. What may I be missing? They do it for each primitive, which might also be the problem in my case. I just do primitive. That's a weird name. Vertex and give me an index. I will do. Come with me. I just need to change one and replace those. So to vertex. Let's see. No, still same problem. That's the problem. What might it be? Oh, that's cool. Fine. In. Am I missing something in the vertex shader? Do I need to put that block? Oh, they are doing it, so that might be the... So, out, color, and that should be vertex position. Indeed, it was totally my bad. The shading is very... not shallow, but light, I guess. Too bright. Let's see. what can I add here? A power function that will make it darker, I hope. Problem. Oh, still not. No matching overloaded function found. Now, not a GLSL function. Oh, I have to give it a vector power, I guess. Let's see. Oh, that's not that's not viewpoint invariant, so I've done something wrong once again. Uh, more badness. Just try to print the normals for now to see if that's related to the problem. Might be, might not be. So, vertex normal. Whoops. Normal seems fine. Nope, they're not fine. Oh, hi, Spongy. Well, as usual, the problem is probably me, but... just hope you're having a good day, I guess. Welcome back to the stream. The problem is the normals, and I'm probably in the wrong coordinate space. I'm computing the vertex position with the MV matrix. Is this wrong? And I'm also will provide the fragment shader with the light direction. Just compute here. Well, the matrix, but really it's just the view. Because I don't have a model matrix. What am I? So light direction. Just compute the alignment with normal. Oh, also missing a minus here. That doesn't help. Was probably why it was reversed in the first place. Why is it not capturing the window? Yes, I. Oh, it is, but oh, no, I have a chroma key. That's why. I'll read that stamp. Filters. Just remove it. Yes. Perhaps giving it a wrong transformation again. Don't think I am, but that's probably why I should have fixed the camera transformation before. So X, Y, Z. Right. Should I really be changing the direction by the view matrix? Hmm. Am I in the right? Now it's true green. Yeah, but it seems a bit too green to me. Perhaps I can just try to increase values of it. That. Oh, that's also because it's the wrong formula for the normal. Oh, that's a rough start today. Right, now that's correct. It's more yellowish there. Yeah, it's more cyan, I guess. Or is it in my head? The green. Note it. Right, now it seems to be correct. At least slightly more correct. And so from here, it's time to make noise functions, I guess. Oh, yes. Oh, two-dimensional noise, if I remember correctly. Oh, I can still cheat and go see on the internet anytime, but let's try to make this from head. So I have a position. Yes, we will do. And I need the floating. There's a fractional part of that. Right of b, and the integral part I is a right function. Right, yes, and int fractional saving, no, flu. So let's go with flu. My memory is correct. I need the interpolant, and depending on whether I want to do cubic or is it quantic, thing like that. Let's go with, I guess linear will do now. Spec2 t equal just f. And I need to return the bilinear interpolation of all that. I think this is the right function, so mix. This will be gradient noise, by the way. So make that with that. Give it T1 here, and we'll just have to avoid putting its wrong one inside. And so this is a mix of T0, T0. That's a maybe random guess, but I'll make do with that. And I think I need a function, something like that. Can probably come up with a very bad hash, but I come up with a good one, vector to hash. No, not that kind of hashes. No, I don't want store hashes. Oh, I guess shader toy is a place to go. So what do we have here? Command the hash you want realized and everything here. So do I really want... What kind of hash do I... Because I just want a random unit vector. Hash without sign. Vector to hashes. Oh, this returns a vector. Oh, I'll just try this one. So that will be my hash. Just one. Here I need to encapsulate. Now I just need to normalize that beforehand and just hope that I don't end up with anything equal to 0 in... Yeah? This... yes, 0. Will probably happen given my log, but... let's see. So I need dot products. Yeah. I'm wrong. Hash between that. Yeah, with the 4 corners. This is the bilinear interpolator. Get 0, 0 here. Have to modify them on the other lines. So how wrong can I get? Why do I have 2 dots here? Oops. Give me 2s. This is the upper line, so right will be, yes, 1 and 1. I'm somehow correct. Maybe somehow correct. Only one way to know, I guess. Getting cosine that, so it's gonna go away. Gradients and no, gradient 2. Just giving the fragment board. What is the right variable? Oh, here, fragment. XY. Divide that by a lot so that we can try to see something. Will that work? Let's see. Some errors, that's fine. Fragment shader, line 17. Yeah, that's back to obviously. Some more problems. Function return does not match the type. 980. Because I'm returning a vec2, as that should be a float. When, if I'm not wrong, with -1 and 1. That's not what I was expecting, but that's still something. No. There is obviously something wrong. Not taking I into account. Probably not here, but just I. Really weird. I do have transitions problem. So that's because I... What did I miss? Wait. Shouldn't it be 1 minus here? Might be wrong on that, but... Just more random guesses. Not seem to be the problem. So it's not row 1 is a fractional part, so it's between 0 and 1. Oh, fract. Is x minus foo of x. Yeah, so this is always positive, I guess. I guess I can just try doing one-dimensional noise first. I don't get confused with too much at once. Even if the ash is... Wait, why is this not one dimension? Probably because... Yeah, usually not one-dimensional. Did something wrong here? I should probably try to render texture on the screen. That will be perhaps more helpful. I wonder. Guess I can just try to make value noise build from there. Don't think the ash is a problem to begin with. So just have... Isn't a lot of ashes? Well, there is, but not what I'm searching for. I would like something that just returns loads and vector. I guess I'll just go with this one. Give me that. Work there. And I will just interpolate. Oops. The ashes without the dot. I'm removing the wrong things. Dot, you go away, you go away, you go away. See what that gives. Errors. Yes, yes, yes. There is probably a problem with my interpolation. Well, same thing as before. Remove then. Uh, 120 parentheses, is that it? Yes. Does not solve the problem, so I actually think that bad idea. What if I remove that one? Now it seems to work, at least on that, along that axis. So this one, oops. Oh, there is stuff. So that's value noise. I'll just use normal rendering because we cannot see much anyway with color for now. Guess we can't really see that much either with value, with normals, but I will just increase the 8. The 8 is already quite big, but 8, yes, a tiny bit more, but not that much. More 8, and just my 25 dot f. This is some kind of value noise. Just wondering why. Oh no, that's because the linear interpolation is done by the mix function, so you don't have to bother about doing 1 minus f here. Now I just have to make it work somehow with a dot product, because this is roughly how the gradient noise work. I just don't know the properties about the hash. So he's taking the fractional part of that. Then a dot product with yzx plus 3.3. The domain of that. Wait, what is the domain of thing? Yes, I actually don't know about domain of that. I think I'll just go and find some other kind of hash because I'm not satisfied with that. Anything that use noise should have a decent hash. Nico Quiles, for example, probably no many hashes. Oh, he's at one somewhere. Oh, come. Terminant, find distances. Hashes, yes. So that's between 0 and 1. Just try that one. Fraction part. One. No. Wanted a hash of vector 2, so it was this one. Wait. And just try to adapt it way. So hash1, and that will give me a float. And I will replace it soon for h2. subtract vector 2 and plus 113. That's in here. Just that. Just do some dirty things like that. That will do. What do I have? Errors. Missing a semicolon. Because, no, just h1 does not exist. Remove that. Similar to what we had before, right? So just take that h2 for now and try again for gradient noise. That can just leave the I do. Yeah, I did change it. So normally it should be h2. We take the dot product. Oh, we also need to slightly modify h2 so that it's minus 1. No, I'm getting confused. For no return. Just return. Normalize. H divided by 2. Wait, is already is in the domain of that is minus, no, it's 0 1. Then we pass it to minus 1. Yeah. Okay. Now h equal that plus. Oh, I'm still making the same mistake. So 2 times h minus 1. Oops. This will do it. And then we can just normalize that and return it. And if it's equal to 0 at any point, then I'm unlucky. Yes. So I need to take the dot product of the hash is f, I think. Might be wrong, but I think. Can just try, so returning dot h2 of I and f and see what I obtain. Errors, because this returns now line 9 function does not return the match type. Oh yes, it should be h here. n. function h hash. Oh, because it takes a single float. That's the wrong function. Go with this one. And that, and to page that. And that's all broken. Well, might not really be, because I do not have the interpolation now. Still some kind of interesting terrain, I guess. Not really what I wanted to do, but that's still something to look at, I guess. So, adding a little bit more of interpolation now. I'll do that here, and I will do a mix between the first hash and a second one that will be a tiny bit further. That sentence does not make any sense, but anyway. Give me that, and go one to the right, this one, and then the still on the x-axis, so it's t of 0 here. Oops. Now explaining that this is closed. Yes. Something that is indeed weird. That's interesting though. Still not what I wanted to do, but it's colorful. So, what is wrong with my code? Yeah, can only go one way though. What's wrong with you, code? That's probably because I'm not. I should be taking this. Oops, still not the problem, but that's why I like computer graphics, even though I'm probably doing whatever and trying to make making so many mistakes, and it's still interesting to look at. So I probably wouldn't be able to do that if I wanted to. So what might the problem be? Let me try that. Still more random guesses. And still wrong guess. Gradient 2 is just called here in the main. So 8 is just per fragment. What? Yes, it's done on the texture that is used to generate the mesh. So it's called once for each pixel on the texture. Do I cheat or not? Oops. Let me see if I... Let's cheat. Which paper was it? This one. Yes, gradient at I g plus 1. Then... to read that. I probably need to... Do I need to normalize the position? Oh, just that might be the problem. So p minus spec 2, and if this is 0, 0, I can just keep it 0. P minus 1 may work better. Not at all. Now it's building simulator. I thought I was clever, but I guess I'm not. Oh, that mix dot work? I do have some idea, but little bit really know to explain it. I think I'll just go to shader toy and try to do it here. Might be easier to debug. Like to have normalized coordinates. Do I? Well, doesn't really matter, but take that. And UV from 0 to 1, yes, it's not that important. Oh, wait. Oh, float noise equal gradient of gradient 2, though. Of a position, just UV will do. And I guess right color will do O okay, 4 okay, 3 of n and 1 for the alpha channel, I guess. Works indeed, but nothing is showing because the values are probably wrong in the wrong interval, so normalize that between 0 and 1, so plus 0.5 all gray, and we'll probably need to divide UV by something. Oops. Multiply it. That's probably the opposite. Yes. And I have a bunch of wrongness. So there is a problem in British. I return that hash2 directly, closing everything. Where? Because instead of the mix dot dot, I'm guessing it will just be a bunch of noise. So h2, wait. So hash2 position will do. I have to return a single float, so that comment. Yeah, so just a bunch of white noise. And in the noisy implementation, they use the hash as a source of randomness, but deterministic. No, I guess the term is referentially transparent randomness because it returns the same value for the same input. And this is an important property because, well, you want to have similar values next to each other. Pretty much needs that. Not a very good explanation. Hash of e that will, well, my guess is that we'll just make squares noise. Yes, squares, rectangle between, because this is not FOV is not FOV, but aspect ratio is not taken into account. And you can do just simple value noise with that, which I did a little bit earlier. So that I just need to hit 2 I and what you do is in each square you take the value of the hash function for each corner, and then you interpolate it in terms of your position inside the square. I'm don't know if I'm clear, but so take the H2 of the lower left corner, the H2 of the lower right corner, finger 2, interpolate it with the position in the if I'm missing something, but should you move the back plus 1 inside the hash call parameter? Uh, ah, I'm just interpolating back to true, so I just need to take the x. What am I doing here? Yes, because the noise you don't need to return a vector, but just remove that. Hash I plus. Did I have that? Been a mistake. Now, if you interpolate on the x-axis, you end up with like continuous band stripes, so of white and black values. If you do interpolate on the other axis also, end up with value noise. Instead, it's top left and top right corner. Still interpolate respect to not being clear, but this is bilinear interpolation. And the last interpolation is done with the Y position. You end up with something like that. Can't you just give the t to last parameter? This one? Don't think you can, because, well, on this expression you are doing the interpolation on the lower side. The function can take back 2 as last parameter. Yes, but it will result on a different function. How do I explain? Yeah, no problem with it, but I'm not finding the words, but well, I'm pretty sure that you know what bilinear interpolation is, but better image. 8, yes. So what we do is on this point compute now what it does basically is that you have a mix. I can write slightly bigger, I guess, of PB and B with vector 2. The resulting vector is, yes, mix of 8x, y, and b0, that. Everything I'm doing is wrong. What am I saying about x? No. Yes, fine. Yeah, but basically just interpolate the first components of each vector. So it's not really bilinear interpolation. It's just two linear interpolations that are just not related to each other. And in the case of bilinear interpolation, we first interpolate on those two values on this axis, and then interpolate the interpolation with the y value. That's pretty much why we have two mix with t0. And one with t1. Is that even remotely clear? Well, I'm probably not explaining very well, so that's on me. Well, I find it to be quite interesting, but I get in a similar way to OpenGL, it's really hard to get into it because, well, you have to know about a lot of mathematical stuff and sort of sometimes it's full of hacks and things like that, so many things in a single shader usually. I guess I try to learn a little bit with Inigo Quilla's articles. Hope I get some of it. Perhaps not familiar enough with it so that I can explain it. I did implement noise in the past. Yes, I just can't really get my head around it today, so try harder, I don't know. But in the case of gradient noise, each corner well, the hash of each corner is a random vector. We want to produce a random value with that vector, so that compare it to the point P in the frame of the corner, something like that. Ah, it came back. Normally with dot, try to do one dimension. Oops. I'll just persist with that. So if I got it right here, it's P minus I. Explaining about dot. Now it's all broken. Wasn't that? Does it change anything with F? I don't know. No. Oh, I know why it's because if I don't do it on all corners, really work. P minus ice, that minus 0, right. Now it's sort of, I think I got it right this time. No. I do the same thing for the lower corners. Seems sort of right to me. I can try with a different interpolation scheme. Cubic interpolation. If I remember the formula, just try to recompute the polynomial anyway. I get it right. This is a cubic polynomial. Polynomial in English, I think. Something like that with Cx plus d. Cubic because I have 4 constraints. I want the first derivative to be null at 0 and 1. P of x. Zoom, by the way. So that's P of x. And the first derivative is that, so it's 3a 2 dx d plus d. And the constraints I want is where do I have that? No. Where does that come from? 2 is that row. This also they want this stuff. Like that. That will be the interpolation function. And we can do that with a polynomial. And the four constraints we have is that it's null at 0, it's equal to 1 at 1, and its first derivative and second derivative are null at 0 and 1. I did not make a mistake. With that, we can smoothly interpolate it. So it curve. I think there is a function that does that, though, in GLS, and it's called smooth step. So, well, anyway, I can just try to recompute it so that maybe one day I will remember it. So with this line, it implies that t is equal to 0. This one does that. C is equal to 0. You can already simplify it. That wrong. Then this one. We can replace x by 1, so it's 3a plus 2b is equal to 0. And the last one we have is 1. So we can replace x by 1. I'm not missing anything. A plus b is equal to 1. That's pretty easy system, or at least should be. So a is equal to -2 if I'm not wrong, and b is equal to 3. So the polynomial we seek is -2x to the 3 and 3x squared. Yes. Like that. Not make a mistake. So -2 times f multiplied by f cube, yes, plus 3 f squared. Now if I execute that, I have a bunch of errors. Fine. Missing the floating point suffix. Now it's smoother, so I got that right at least. Can also factorize it like that. Are you a wizard? For once it works at the first try, so I'll take that one. So at least now we have a bit of noise, I guess. Smooth noise. Now I should have something that's keep it. Yeah, I'll do that. Let's see what we get with our terrain. About guessing this will be a pretty boring terrain, but